in plants and animals. We have discussed the different components of the circulatory system. So blood vessel, and the heart, they are the three different components. We have discussed about the components of blood, RBC, WBC, platelets, plasma, the function of them we have discussed yesterday. Then we have also discussed about the blood vessels. The three different types are there: arteries, veins, and capillaries. Arteries, what do? They always carries the oxygenated blood, except the pulmonary artery, who carries the deoxygenated blood. Then veins will be always carrying the deoxygenated blood, except the pulmonary vein, which will be carrying the oxygenated blood. Just give me a minute, children. I'm getting a call. Okay. So then we have discussed the vessels. Now today onwards, we are going to start with the human heart structure, which is very, very important. If I talk about the human heart, we have 4 chambers. So in our heart, we have 4 chambers. Starting from the first chamber is known as the right auricle. So it is called as right auricle. So it is like, I'm just drawing in a simple way. Suppose it's a human heart, like this 4 chambers we have. This is the first, second, third, and fourth. So total 4 chambers we have. The first one is the right auricle. This auricle is also called as atria. It is also called as atrium. So keep in mind, there are 3 different names for it: auricle, atria, and atrium. So here, right auricle or atria, right atrium. Now, second one is the right ventricle. So what is there? Right ventricle. Name of the second chamber, right ventricle. This ventricle is also known as ventria and ventrium. So what happens, in some book it is given ventricle, in some book it is given ventria, and somewhere it is given ventrium also. So all have the same meaning. That is, they are the chamber of the human heart. So right auricle, the down of the right auricle will be the right ventricle. Then the third chamber is the left auricle. Now again here the auricle has 3 different names: auricle, atria, and atrium. And the last chamber is left ventricle. So left ventria, ventricle, ventrium. They are 3 same. So right auricle, left auricle, right ventricle, left ventricle. So these are the 4 different chambers of the human heart which we have. Okay. Now in between these 4 chambers, we have a layer, or we can say we have a division called as septum. So they are divided by the layer called as a septum. So septum is basically the division between the 4 chambers. That is called as septum. Now this is the structure of the human heart. I'll tell you how it actually works. So when you see this purple line, so this purple line. So you can see the half of it is the purple, right? Half of the purple means basically the blue. So here, what do we have here? Or else, first of all, let me explain you, because okay. So body we have, in the body, we have the high amount of carbon dioxide. Fine. Now we have what? We have the we have the 4 chambers. As I told you, right auricle, right ventricle, left auricle, and left ventricle. Now this side we will be writing the lungs, which means where the more amount of oxygen will be present. So this is a simple form to explain you in a better way, in an easier way I'm explaining you. So one side we have written body, which will be rich in CO2. Then center, we have done the diagram of the heart. wherein 4 chambers are there. Then the next side of that will be the lungs, where the more amount of oxygen are present. And keep in mind, these whatever is written should be there only. You cannot change the sequence. Right auricle should be this side only, right ventricle should be this side only. Same way, body should be this side and lungs should be this side. Now, what happened? I said that body has more amount of CO2. So, what type of blood it will be? Oxygenated or deoxygenated blood? If it has more amount of CO2, what type of blood it has? Oxygenated or deoxygenated? Deoxygenated now, right? So always keep in mind the deoxygenated blood is written like this in the dash 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 form, and the oxygenated will be written as a straight form, straight line form. Okay. So from the body now, this deoxygenated blood will be coming to where? To the right auricle. It enters to the right auricle. So from the body, the deoxygenated blood will enter into the right auricle. Now, as soon as it enters the right auricle gets filled with blood. Now, in this full right auricle, what happened? The blood will be there. Now, as soon as it get full, what happens? Start expanding. They need more space. So here in between this, they have a kind of valve called as this valve here in the center. They have a kind of valve which is called as the tricuspid valve. Now, because a lot of pressure is coming from the right auricle side, because it got full with the blood, that is why it is making pressure. So, because of that pressure, this tricuspid valve gets open, and whatever the amount of blood was here, it start coming down where? In the right ventricle. Now, from the right auricle, all the amount of the blood will be shifted to the right ventricle through the tricuspid valve. Now, from as soon as it comes to the right ventricle, it starts filling up, and because of that, it starts creating pressure. And from here, directly from here, it starts going to the lungs. So, the deoxygenated blood from the body, it enters into the right auricle get full. Because of that, it will be moving to the right ventricle. Now, once the right ventricle get full of blood, it moves to the lungs. Now, as soon as it goes to the lungs, what happened? Whatever impure form of blood was there, it will be converted into the pure form. Now it becomes oxygenated. Now this oxygenated blood will be entering into the where? Left auricle. So as I told you, we will be mentioning oxygenated with the straight line and the deoxygenated with the dotted lines. So as soon as the blood comes into the lungs, it becomes oxygenated, and now it will be entering into the left auricle. Same process, left auricle will be getting full of blood. Because of that, it creates pressure and it starts moving into the left ventricle. Now, how it goes to the left ventricle? Because it has another valve here called as the bicuspid valve. So, they have a valve called as bicuspid valve. So, from there, it goes to the now left ventricle. So, whatever the amount of blood was there in the left auricle, it gets full. Then, because of the pressure, it gets open and the valve gets open and it goes to the left ventricle. Now, once the left ventricle is get full of blood, it goes to directly to the where? To the body. Now, once it reaches to the body, again, what happened? It becomes deoxygenated, and the same cycle will keep on moving. Clear? The same cycle will keep on moving now. So again, from the body, deoxygenated blood will go into the right auricle, from the right auricle to the right ventricle, then from the right ventricle to the lungs. As soon as it reaches to the lungs, it becomes oxygenated and it comes back to the left auricle, then from the left auricle to the left ventricle, then from the left ventricle to the body. So like this, the cycle keeps on going. So here, what happens is you can see like twice the blood is coming out of the heart. So one time is this oxygenated blood, you can deoxygenated blood. So this is like one time going out of the heart, right? This is one cycle. And in the second cycle, the oxygenated blood is coming to the heart and then again going out of the heart. So since twice, the circulation of blood is happening in the heart. That is why the process is called as the double circulation. So these all things you have in the grade 10, but I think you should learn now itself. You should know all these things. So twice the amount of blood is entering into the heart, and that is the reason the whole circulation is called as a double circulation. So am I clear with this? Have
Yes,
you
ma'am.
understood how it is moving? So if you have understood this way, it will be easy now for me to explain you how it is happening. Fine. As I told you, here, imagine here, what do we have? We have the body. Now, I told you in the body what will be there? The high amount of the CO2 will be there. When the high amount of CO2, what kind of blood will be entering? Oh, wait, sorry. The deoxygenated blood will be entering, right? So you can see here, through the superior vena cava. So through the superior vena cava, the blood, the deoxygenated blood has entered where? It has entered into the right atrium. Now right atrium got full of blood, and then because of this valve, you can see here the tricuspid valve, it gets open, and whatever the blood was in the right atrium, it reaches to the right ventricle. And now from the right ventricle, now where it is going? It is going to this tube-like structure. And after this, what will be present? The lungs will be present. So this is one cycle. From here to the till the lungs is the one cycle. Now in the lungs, oxygenated blood will be there. Now there it gets oxygenated, and now how it will be entering? It will be entering through the pulmonary vein. So here they will be entering through the pulmonary vein into the left atrium. Now left atrium when gets full, they enter into the left ventricle. When left ventricle gets full, they will move to the aorta, and aorta will have the connection to the body. They are connected to the body. So again now they become deoxygenated again from the body. They will be entering into the heart through the right atrium, then to the right ventricle. So that is how the movement or the circulation of the blood happens in our body. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So heart is a key organ in the circulatory system which beat continuously to act as a pump for the transport of blood which carries other substances with it. The heart is located just to the left of the center of chest cavity with its lower tip slightly tilted towards the left. It is of the size of our clenched fist. So basically, it is of the size of the fist. Now, this is the internal structure of the human heart. It has four chambers. The upper two are called as atria. So here you can see it is mentioned as the atria. So here as the ventricles. So upper two are the right auricle. Right auricle, and then the left auricle, upper two, and the down one is the right ventricle and the left ventricle. So that is how we have two. So this is the same diagram what I have explained you. You can see here the same thing what I have explained you is here in the flowchart form. So through the superior vena cava, the impure blood. So you can see the blue lines are basically the deoxygenated blood. The superior vena cava, through that they will be entering into the right atrium. Now from the right atrium, it goes to the right ventricle with the help of a valve called as tricuspid valve. Now, when the right ventricle gets full of blood, it goes to the pulmonary artery through the pulmonary valve. And once it gets full, it goes to the lungs. As soon as it reaches to the lungs, it becomes oxygenated, and then it enters into the left atrium. Then from the left atrium, it enters to the left ventricle. Then through the aorta, it goes to the rest of our body. And as soon as it reaches to the body, again it becomes deoxygenated. So that is how the circulation of the heart will be there. So same thing, just whatever we have discussed in this flow chart form, from the body to the right auricle, right ventricle to the tricuspid valve, from the right ventricle to the lungs. Now in the lungs, it becomes oxygenated, and from there they enter into the left auricle, then to the left ventricle, then again to the body. So like this, the double circulation, twice the blood is moving out of the heart. That is why it is called as double circulation. The next one, heartbeat. The walls of the heart are made up of cardiac muscles. What they will be doing, the cardiac muscles will be helping to contract and relax rhythmically. And because of this, it constitutes the heartbeat. So, heartbeat is basically the rhythmic contraction followed by the relaxation. And it is recorded by an instrument called as a stethoscope. You might have seen like doctors will be using this stethoscope to know your heartbeat. So, the stethoscope has three different parts. Earpiece. So, basically, this part they will be keeping it in the ear. Then tube connecting the chest piece and the earpiece. And the third part is the chest piece. This chest piece they will be keeping on the chest to hear the sound of the heart. Then pulse and pulse rate. The jerk felt in the wrist arteries due to the heartbeat is called as pulse. The number of pulse per minute is called as the pulse rate. Each heartbeat generates one pulse in the arteries, and the pulse rate per minute indicates the rate of heartbeat, that is the 70 to 80 per minute. Now, the next one is the human respiratory system. So, when we talk about the human respiratory system, it basically means how do we remove the waste from our body. So, in the chapter nutrition in animals, we have discussed in the chapter nutrition in animals what we have discussed that through the process of egestion, what will happen? What is egestion?
Ma'am,
Pancreas.
like undigested food, the waste will get excreted.
Right. So undigested food or undigested, I can say the waste material will be moving out of the body through the anus. That is called the egestion. Now, when I talk about the excretion, is it the same? Or it is there, and is there any difference between them? Are the egestion and the
Always the
excretion
same.
same? Okay. It is same. You are saying it is same. Any other child want to answer? Is it same or are they different?
The question. Ma'am, they are same.
Okay, they are same. So though two children have said that they are same, I think one child is still remaining for the answer. Anubhav, I think you are remaining. Are they same or are they different?
I think it is not same.
Why they are not same?
And that is why I'm not know the answer.
Okay. So it's like to be better on the safer side, right? Rather than giving the
Okay,
answer.
ma'am.
Okay, so children, they are not same. They are not same. When I talk about, Manas, we turn on your video. So when we talk about the egestion, you know it so well, like whatever the waste material our body has. Okay, you are traveling, Manasvi?
Ma'am, I'm actually going home right now.
Okay, fine. Then you can turn off your video. So I was not aware. So sorry for that. So when I talk about the egestion, you all are said correctly that removal of the waste material through the anus, right? That is the egestion. But in the case of the excretion, what do? We remove the urine, right? Now understood the difference. In the egestion was what was happening? In the egestion, the solid particles were removed. Whereas in the excretion, the liquid particles we are removing from the body. So that is how both are different. Fine, one is for the solid, one is for the liquid. One is for the excreta, one is for the urine. So through the excretion, the urine we will be throwing out of the body with the help of the kidney. And that system which do this process are called as the excretory system. Clear, Kritika, now how they are different, they are not same.
Yes, ma'am.
Fine, Manasvi, they are not same. They are different. In the case of the excretion, the removal of the urine will be there, and in the case of the egestion, the removal of the waste material in the form of solid will be there.
What is the question?
Okay. So, this excretory system, we have few components of it. A pair of kidney, two ureters will be there. A urinary bladder will be there. A urinary opening will be there. So, this is how it will be looking like. Fine, in this kidney, there will be so many nephrons present which will be helping for the filtration of the urine. So basically, whatever the food or the components we are taking in the form of the blood, it will be reaching to this part of the body, and then these nephrons they will be filtering. So whatever the waste will be there in the form of urine, they will be just giving it to the next part, which is the ureter. The urine will come to the ureter, and then whatever the amount of urine we generate, here it will be stored in the urinary bladder. So whatever the urine they will be forming, it will be stored in the urinary bladder. Urinary bladder is basically the muscular wall. So it is made up of the muscle. So what happened? So much amount of the urine we can store, maybe for 5 hours, maybe 6 hours, we can store it until unless it does not get fill up. So once this urinary bladder gets full of the urine, our body starts paining, and that is the reason. Like sometimes immediately you feel like that you need to go to the washroom, right? You feel like you need to use the restroom. So why so? Because this urinary bladder got full of the urine, and now that urinary bladder cannot hold the urine further. That is the reason what they have to do. We have to remove the urine out. So as soon as the urine goes out of the body through the urethra, again this bladder will become empty, and whatever the kidneys now they will be giving, they will be holding it. So like this, the process keeps on going. So when the blood comes to the kidneys, useful substances are absorbed back, and the waste dissolved in water are removed as the urine. An adult human passes about 1 to 1.8 liters of urine in a day. So these are some of the excretory products. Like in fishes, ammonia is a excretory product. In the lizards, birds, snails, lizards, the uric acid is the excretory product. Then the dialysis, sometimes what happen, you might have seen in some of the person, they will not be able to remove the urine out of the body because of the kidney failures. So that's the reason artificially it has to be removed, because if we do not remove urine out of the body, it starts creating poison. Slowly and gradually the poison will be generated in our body, and ultimately the death of a person can be there. That is why what they should do, they should do the dialysis process, and for that they have to visit the hospital at least like after every 2 to 3 days they have to visit, so that artificially the urine can be removed through the help of the machines and all. They can remove it, and the poison should not be created in the body. And talking about the plants have the two system, xylem and phloem. Two types of cells they have, xylem and phloem. Xylem, what do? They will be basically helping in the transportation of water, and phloem, they will be helping in the transportation of food. Fine. So xylem, with the help of the xylem, the water will be from the root, the water will be going up to the stem and to the leaf. Whereas with the help of the phloem tissue, whatever the food has been generated in the leaf, where it has to go? It has to go to the stem and then to the other parts of the body. So that is how the transportation of the water, minerals, and the food will be done in the plants. All right, children.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Any doubt if you have, you can ask me.
No, ma'am.
Okay, so today I'll just play the second part of the video. And I'm focusing much on this chapter because the last previous chapter we did not, went very deep into that because they were not so important. But this chapter is like highly important for your grade 10. And that is the reason we have discussed this like very much.
Ma'am, can I ask one question?
Yes.
Ma'am, why do we use pacemakers in our heart?
Why do we use?
Ma'am, pacemakers.
Basically what happened, they will be with the help of the pacemaker, the electrical pulses, like electrical signals I can say, will be helping them to count the heartbeat.
Okay.
So they will be used to check whether your pumping of the heart is going on systematically or not. Like you might have heard a sound also. When you keep your hand over the heart, a sound will be coming. The sound of the lub dub. Actually, it is called as lub dub sound. The lub dub. We hear it as dhak 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 dhak. It is not actually dhak dhak. It is the lub dub sound. So that sound will be coming, and with the help of that pacemaker, what happened? They will be able to identify whether it is like working or not properly.
Okay, ma'am.
So this is the part 2. Yesterday we have seen the part 1. Now the part 2 is going on.
Transportation in Animals and Plants Part 2. Hello friends, have you ever felt your heart beating? When we walk fast or run, we can listen to our heart beating rapidly. Keep your hand on your heart and feel the heartbeat on your own. Can you hear the heartbeat? Do you know friends, our heart beats around 1 lakh times in a day. It is very hardworking. But how does our heart beat without stopping for our entire life? Come, let us find out about the heart and its functions through this video. The objectives of this video are 1. To understand what is pulse. 2. To know how does our heart work.
Sonu, come. We have to go and meet the doctor. I'm not feeling well.
Yes, mother. Let us go.
Hello, doctor. I have body ache and fever.
I shall do your checkup and find out about it.
Doctor, what do you try and find out by touching the wrist of the patients?
Sonu, I try and find out if the heart of the patient is working fine.
How do you find it out? By just placing your fingers on the wrist?
Look here, Sonu. Keep your middle and third finger of the right hand on the inside of the wrist of your left hand. Can you feel a throbbing sound?
Yes, I can hear it. What is this throbbing sound, doctor?
This is known as our pulse. It is due to the blood flowing in the arteries. A person at rest has a normal heartbeat of 70 to 80 per minute.
Oh, when I run, my heart beats very rapidly. So does the pulse rate also become fast?
Yes, Sonu, you are right.
You can listen to the heartbeat with this stethoscope also.
Yes, Sonu. Come here. This stethoscope helps to listen to the heartbeat.
Oh yes, can listen to my heartbeat. But doctor, how does the heart beat? It is a very rhythmic sound.
Ma'am, I think Sonu will become a doctor when he grows up. Sonu, the walls of the chambers of the heart are made up of muscles. This rhythmic contraction followed by a relaxation constitutes a heartbeat.
Our heart is so hardworking. It keeps beating throughout our life.
Sonu, I have organized a camp tomorrow in my clinic. Doctors are going to give information on heart and its functions, etc. If you want, you can come with your friends and gather information.
I will definitely come with my friends. Thank you, doctor.
Ma'am, you are absolutely fine. You just have weakness. I am writing a few medicines for you. Sonu, make sure your mother gets some rest.
Thank you, doctor.
We shall meet tomorrow, Sonu.
Ramesh, Geeta, the doctor had said that we shall be able to gather a lot of information about body systems.
I am very excited.
Hello, doctor.
Hello, children. Come look. There are various specialists here. You can go and collect information about any body system from them.
Look, there is a blood donation camp. Look, there is such a big picture of the heart. Let us go there. Hello, doctor. Can you give us some information about the heart?
Yes, children? Sure.
What is this picture telling us about the heart?
Children, this picture is telling us about the functions of the heart.
Can you please tell us about it? We cannot understand much from the picture.
Sure, children. First tell me, where is the heart situated in the body?
Our heart is located in the chest cavity in the rib cage, slightly tilted towards the left.
Doctor, what will happen if the oxygenated blood and the deoxygenated blood gets mixed in the heart?
This is a very good question. For this situation not to arise, there are 4 chambers in the heart. Come, I will explain to you about this with the help of this poster. The heart is a 2-story building. The upper 2 stories are called atrium. Look, left atrium and right atrium. There are 2 floors in the lower floor also. These are known as ventricle. Look, left ventricle and right ventricle. There is a door-like valve between the ventricle and the atrium. Because of this valve, the oxygenated and deoxygenated blood do not get mixed up.
Can you please tell us how the heart functions?
Have you ever seen a pump?
Yes, we have seen.
The heart works like a pump. By the help of this pump, blood reaches to all the parts of the body and comes network of these blood vessels in our body. Look, children, the blood from the upper parts of the body, like from the head, etc., comes into this upper tube, and from the stomach and lower parts of the body, the blood comes to this tube in the lower part. In the right atrium, there is a valve which opens only on one side. This valve will also open when the right ventricle will expand. Then the deoxygenated blood will have come in the ventricle and the valve behind it would have closed.
It means that it will not open back.
Yes, you are right. But there is another valve which opens from the right ventricle when the ventricle will shrink. Then, like paste comes out of a tube, similarly the blood will come out of the right and left side of the pulmonary artery.
But this is going into the lungs?
Yes, the pulmonary artery takes the deoxygenated blood to the lungs.
But arteries carry oxygenated blood.
Yes, but only the pulmonary artery carries deoxygenated blood.
We had read in the chapter on respiration that there are many tiny blood vessels in the lungs which help in purifying the blood.
Yes, and now the blood is purified in the lungs. And this oxygenated blood comes back from the lungs to the heart, and pulmonary vein carries it into the left atrium into the heart. There is a valve present here also which opens only on one side. When the ventricle will expand, then the oxygenated blood will enter the ventricle. And when the ventricle will shrink, then the blood will go out of the valve. There is artery here known as the aorta, which carries oxygenated blood to all the parts of the body.
Our heart does a lot of hard work. We should really take care of our heart.
Yes, children, we all should eat a balanced diet, do exercise, and take care of our heart.
Yes, our heart takes good care of us, so we should also take care of it. Doctor, like carbon dioxide and other waste is also extracted through the help of the blood?
Yes, children.
I think I have gathered enough information on our heart for today. I will first go and write down all the information.
Yes, children, you have gathered enough information for today.
Thank you, doctor.
So that is how the functioning of the heart will be there. I'll just show you how actually the human heart in real looks like. Just give me a minute. Okay, I'll just share the screen now. So this is how the human heart will be looking. So are you able to see the screen now? Heart looks like. See. So from top you also can view it. So like this it will be there. From down also you can view it will be like this. So in real it is like this. So when you zoom it, so you will be able to see like small the nerves kind of things will be there. All right, children.
Yes,
Yes,
And children, just open now. We are done with the chapter. Open resources. Under the resources, chapter-wise notes. In the chapter-wise notes, the notes of the chapter I have uploaded there by the name Transportation in Plants and Animals Notes. The fourth PDF will be there, Transportation in Plants and Animals Notes. Open that PDF. You will be able to see the notes of this chapter. Almost like 8 pages are there. Okay,
yes,
go through these notes, and these are like very important for your higher grades, for the grade 10 especially. So go through these notes. Still we have some time. Whatever doubts you have, you just clarify now itself. Fine.
yes.
Manasvi, you're asking something? Okay, I thought like you're asking me. Okay. Any doubt, children?
No,
Anubhav,
ma'am.
Manasvi,
No.
Kritvik. So go through the complete PDF, all the 8 pages. And then now from Wednesday onwards, we will be starting the level 1, level 2 and subjective part of it. And after this, we'll start with some other chapter then. Once we complete with level 1, level 2 and subjective, we'll go ahead with the other chapter. Whatever chapters are remaining, we'll be completing to revise them.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, children, then we'll meet you on Wednesday and make sure that coming Saturday itself, you complete your test, subjective test, and send me the answer sheet for the correction. Fine. And only in the PDF form. And when you click the PDF, just click it neatly because sometimes what happen, I'm not able to identify the letters or the words. So send the images or like create PDF properly in a proper way.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, children, then we'll meet
Okay.
you.
Bye, ma'am.
Bye.